Dear black woman, your soul's a flame, burning through shadows, calling your name.
Hello, 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 you guys. Oh my God, it's that time again. And you already know what we're doing today. We are, this is one of those days where we're going live with the Dear Black Woman Anthology Project. As you know, my name is Cammie Red, and today I'm honored to be here with one of our co-hosts, Miss Anne Marie Maloney. Our topic is healing through words, how we overcome fear. We're going to get real vulnerable and discuss the courage it takes to put your truth on the page, especially when you fear how that truth might actually be received. So buckle up and take a moment and let's get started with Miss Anne Marie.
Let me get my seatbelt, Cammie. you said buckle up. Are we in for a ride?
I don't know, Miss Anne Marie. You might take us on a ride. You know how you do. You might pull out a piece of poetry in between this conversation, and we just be sitting here like, hey.
You never know. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody who's joining us, and welcome. Hello. Okay, Miss Cammie, let's go for a ride. Let me put on my glasses so I can see. You know, sometimes I have to see these reading glasses.
Yes, I know. So you wrote about reclaiming your narrative, and we talk about that a lot, especially let me be very clear, with Beyonce touring the world right now. One of the main words that you hear throughout her touring is reclamation, reclaiming. Speaking of reclaiming your voice, reclaiming what was ours. So you talked about that a little bit in your story that you wrote.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about reclaiming your own voice and using your words and your power?
I think about the word reclaiming and what it means to me. Reclaiming suggests there was something that was lost, or perhaps it was stolen, something that was taken away, something that we no longer have a hold of. And reclaiming means we need to go back and get it. That's how we start off when we're young, generally speaking. There's always an exception to the rule. But generally speaking, if you ever around kids, there's an innocence about children. They just believe everybody, and they believe in the trust. They feel safe around most people. And kids have that. It is when we grow up and we go through life experiences that we have that not only stripped away from us in terms of our voice, but we also lose our sense of safety. And so we have to put up things to protect us.
Yes.
And in so doing, the writing of this letter speaks to what is underneath all those walls of protection, because we can hardly recognize ourselves anymore. Isn't that the truth?
Listen, I think we once on the podcast, we had a conversation about the many masks that Black women wear, and how sometimes, because I think Lauren asked the question and she said, how do we get to that point where, it looks all good on the outside, but then next thing you know, you got a woman that's falling apart. And I believe my answer to her was, it's because we wear the mask so well. We wear the mask. We get so ingrained in the things that we have to put on, and the faces and the actions and the behaviors that we have to put on, that we forget who we are at our core.
We sure do. And there would have been the old me, the she where I came from, what I used to believe. I used to believe that falling apart, oh my goodness, I don't want anybody to see this. I don't want anybody to know that I'm falling apart. I want to keep the facade going. And I'm sure there are women out there just had that feeling like you have to, there's this need that other people believe that you're okay, until I realized, here's where my mindset shifted. I started to think to myself, my falling apart is actually a gift.
Thank you. It
Okay.
is.
First of all, girl, you're not perfect. Let it go.
And actually falling apart wasn't you falling apart. It was the mask just falling off.
The mask just coming off. And I'm just saying.
Yeah, the weight of the luggage that you were carrying, all of that was just your body and your mind was like, this too much. We can't do this no more. We got to go back to who we are, because this not us. Yeah.
Not only can't we do it anymore, we shouldn't do it anymore.
Yes.
That speaks to, going back to your first question, the idea of reclaiming. I'm going back to who I knew myself to be, who I hid, who I had to protect. Now, I'm not trying to say we're going back and being childlike, okay? We're not going back. we learned a couple of things along the way.
We've matured and gained wisdom along the
way. However, in that maturity, in understanding at the core our beliefs and the essence of who we are, we have an opportunity to walk wisely. Let me give you an example of that. When I was a child, I was very sensitive, and I didn't have language for it at the time. My parents didn't have language for it, nor the teachers, et cetera, et cetera. So people would say things, and I was a crier. I would easily cry. And then I got taunted. You know what happened. You get called crybaby. You get made fun of.
Now, let me ask you this. Did that come from inside the house, or was that from outside the house?
That came from all over.
I knew the answer to that.
Came from all over, because, you know, my being the baby of the family as well. Okay, she's just a crybaby. And then kids, sometimes the teasing that we do with one another, and they will actually seek you out because they see they interpret it as weakness. And a soft spot. We can pick on her because she's going to cry.
She's going to cry. Yeah. And then it's going to give us more ammunition to use.
More ammunition. So here's what would happen. I learned and adapted the mask because I understood that I could not continue this. I had to be defensive and protect. So in a way, I had to dull down my feelings. I had to pretend I can't feel or don't feel certain things. I have to ignore that. And it became part of my battle armor. It's what I do. You know, I'm not going to let you see that upset me.
And that's actually part of the conditioning that most women, especially Black women, are told or taught growing up, is never let them see you sweat, never let them see you cry, never let them see you act as if what they did hurt your feelings. And that is something that has been instilled in us over generations, over decades, centuries, as just Black women, period.
Now, here it is, a double-edged sword, though, because when you do that, when you pull away from those circumstances, people start to think, at least they project it onto me, that she's aloof, she's arrogant, or she thinks she's better than. So because I pulled away, because I don't want to be hurt, I don't want to be called names, people started making speculation or projecting who they think I am, and enter that idea of being misunderstood. Oh my God. I'm just like, I find that people would assume that I'm thinking a certain way. The thoughts are running through my head that weren't there. And most of my adult life, I have felt misunderstood. How did I get past that? It was a journey. It became where I had to become comfortable in my own skin. Part of doing that is through writing, because
Yes.
writing is a mirror, and I'm able to acknowledge, Anne-Marie, you can't abandon yourself anymore. Because that's
Yes.
what you're doing. And that's what happens when the masks fall away. When you fall apart, you have a chance to reclaim the opportunity. It's a gift. And
Moving
that's
away.
where,
Yeah, moving away from being a victim to being the author of your own story and making it work for
absolutely.
you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm just like, you mean all this time I've been abandoning myself? Well, let me stop that. Because that's not good.
Yeah, but you aren't the only one, and I think that's really important. A really important part of your story is that it gives air and it shines a light on the things that we've done to ourselves internally. Not speaking of what's been done to us externally, but the things that we've put ourselves through and the things that we've done to ourselves in order to keep that mask and suppress feelings and not let others see that they made us sweat or made us upset. Like you said, being called a crybaby made you say, okay, well, let me suck that up and push it down so nobody else talks to me like that ever again, whether it's coming from my friends or people at school or people my siblings. Yeah.
And it speaks to, where does our belief systems come from? Because the outside world, in this example, think of it as a weakness. But truth be told, what it suggests is that I have a feeling, an affinity, a love for people. I need to lean into that.
Yes.
And that's how I become authentic. You get to that place through writing. I fell in love with words from the very beginning. I have always written, even when I had those little marble books, not Marvel, but marble, those
the composition books.
the
Yeah.
composition books. I used to scribble in the composition books. And then I learned how to trace my letters and so on and so forth. That writing is a mirror of how you feel, especially when you don't want somebody else to know.
Exactly. Yeah, you write down your thoughts, and that's a part of why we tell people to journal. So
Yeah.
it's not for other people to read or to know, but literally so you can get out your thoughts, get out the things that's bothering you, because otherwise they swarming around in your head and causing all kinds of confusion and chaos.
And you know what? It can become an art. There's an art to it, because journaling is not something new, right? We know about journaling. Let's write a little something. But Cammie, I found this as an educator through even coaching my own students. Poetry, because one of the things to know that, I'm an English teacher. I'm responsible for teaching them how to analyze things. Analysis comes from the head, but poetry, Cammie.
Yes. Comes from the
Poetry
heart.
comes from the heart. And so I'm saying, I'm writing in my journals for years and years. I'm writing the same thing over and over and over. Oh, woe is me. Please, I'm in my misery. Somebody please help me. And it comes to a tipping point where you say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yes.
And what I discovered almost by accident is that when you bring in metaphors and similes and you bring in imagery and you create poetry and you finesse these words, oh my goodness, you've now elevated the experience to you're sharing an art form, and that art form becomes a positive byproduct of what you went through.
Yes.
And you get to share it with the world.
Yes. It's taking your pain and turning it into something positive so that it can actually not only free you from it, but also inspire others to also be creative as well.
I want to read a little bit.
I'll go ahead. I was waiting on it. I knew it was coming.
This one is called The Marrow of My Bones. I am not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read parts of it. It's called The Marrow of My Bones. There is a hurt that runs so deep within the marrow of my bones. Twisted lies, deceive and smile, words dipped and scalded in tar meant for ill-filled gain. The smell of burnt flesh fills the air as my beauty is stripped, one scar upon another. You use me. You use me to carry out a facade. Bricks and mortar you built, inhabited by shallow desire of things to fill your bowl of status. The poem goes on, that's just, and it flips by the end and it comes to something
Miss
beautiful.
Anne-Marie, why you just giving us a moose boosh of the poem? Okay. That wasn't even an appetizer, okay? And we all know I'm a chef, so in the culinary world, you know what a moose boosh is, okay?
Well, I know now.
It's just a little trinket, a little taste.
A little taste of it.
It's not an appetizer. It's not the first course.
Yes.
It's just to wet your palate so you understand what's to come. Okay.
And you have to come back for the end of the story because I flipped the story in terms of what's the marrow in my bones after you found your healing. Okay.
So listen, let me say this. That means you're going to be reciting that poem on September the 26th, right?
Yeah, let me put a star on it.
Thank you. Because you can't tell us how you flip the poem in the end and don't share the flip with us.
Because what starts out as pain becomes purpose. And so what I want to tell our listeners, tell our viewers is that spoken word, the art of it, if you love words like I do and you put them together, there's a space inside of you where creativity lives. And that is where I found my voice. And I'm riding with it. Me and God riding with this. And say, God, that's what you want me to do? Okay.
Okay. Listen, look, Mika put the snaps in the comment. Okay.
Absolutely.
Mika said yes. And I know Mika out there watching, so I'm gonna say, Mika, you have to also encourage Miss Anne-Marie to let her know that we need to hear the rest of that poem, okay?
Yes. Absolutely.
And if anybody out there listening or watching, if you want to hear the rest of the poem, you can buy a ticket to the weekend gala. We are having a poetry slam and open mic session hosted by Miss Anne-Marie. So, yes, that's not going to be the only thing that she shares. And I just feel it in my bones, okay?
In the marrow of your bones.
In the marrow of my bones.
We can have that ring shout experience. You know how our ancestors used to do ring shout?
That part. Look, Mika say we need it all.
We need it all. Let's do a ring shout, everybody. Spoken word, music, art.
All of that. If you are an artist, if you are a musician, if you are a poet, this is an opportunity, if you are attending the event, to actually get on stage and not just attend the event, but be a part of the event. Okay.
Yeah.
So and let me just be honest, and don't be shy, because the room will be full of artists and people who will appreciate your art at whatever level it is.
Absolutely, Cammie. And I say that with truth because there's something when you walk into any venue where spoken word is being heard, the audience understands that people are being their most vulnerable self.
Yes.
And so it becomes a community.
Yeah. And again, this is an event that is geared towards healing our inner child. So nothing in this space will be anything that will be harmful or even perceived as harmful. It will be as an enjoyable moment for us all, because to gain the strength to reclaim who you are, because clearly anyone out there who's feeling creative and you're just a little fearful, you've had this creativity before, you've done this before. So you have to reclaim yourself and just get up on stage and share it with the world.
You know what? Reclaim yourself, and in reclaiming yourself, you become a light. because your courage, how does it go? The poetry is about you, but it's not for you.
Yes, that's you know
It's
my
about
favorite
you, but it's
saying.
not, yes, it's about you, but it's not for you.
That's
Because
like me.
there's somebody listening. And I want to say that, Kim, I have to say this in terms of the healing, getting back to words and so on and so forth, is that part of my healing is the books I read. Go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is Mika put something in the comments. She said that's her word, reclamation, which it is. That's her word. Remember, I had you all.
That's a word. Yeah,
that's her word.
That's a word. Yeah, Mika. The books that I've read, the movies that I have seen, it is all part of my journey because, Cammie, we don't get healed. It's not a one and done deal. It's not linear. It's not, okay, I wake up and yeah, I'm healed. Boom, I'm whole again. It is a constant back and forth, ebb and flow, ups and downs, navigating life. Think about the movies that you watch. And because I love words and I love imagery and how people put out stories, I don't just watch a movie, okay, this happened, and okay, my 2 hours are gone. When you watch, the story about Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it?
I was just, yes.
There's a story there. And that gave or gives courage to people who find themselves in that situation. When you read a book like Waiting to Exhale, and then it became a movie, by Terry McMillan, you have the realization that these are the stories. And in these stories, there might be a little nugget that you can find. And that is part of your healing process. It was part of mine.
Yes. Lauren and I had a conversation when I was on the podcast interview with her, the Lauren from the co-author from the anthology project. She and I talked about a book that I've read at every phase of my life, and that's The Bluest Eyes by
Toni Morrison. Come on.
Yeah, Toni Morrison. Yeah, that's The Bluest Eyes. I read it when I was in high school. I read it when I was in my 20s. I read it when I was in my 30s. And I told her, I said, you making me get ready to go pick that book up again at 45 and read it again, because in each time I read the book, it gave a different feel, a different meaning. It was just something different about it. And there was a different lesson to be learned through one character or another that I may have missed or did not pick up on while I was reading it in the previous decade.
This is how we know that we evolve. I have a similar experience, and that is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. I read the book.
I read the book too.
The original movie.
Yes.
Started on stage at Broadway in New York, and then saw the remake. Now, let me tell you why I disagree with people who didn't like the remake. Let me tell you why it was an experience of coming home. Because the first time that I saw it, I was a different woman at that point in my life. And it was a very dark place. It was a very negative space in terms of my relationship and so on and so forth. And I was tearful. I was upset. I was hurting. And when they would sing the songs on Broadway, oh my God, I'm just like, lady, you singing to my soul.
You feeling every word of it.
That's what I wish I could say. You have said what I wanted to say. When I saw the remake, and it's a musical, and a lot of people were disappointed.
I actually liked it. I loved it. Listen, you gotta remember, I'm a theater geek. I'm a musical theater baby. Like, I grew up in musical theater. The first play I was in was Oklahoma, and I was trying to land it. Yeah, so
I was loved it. And I love that they changed it into a musical. And I was
Yes.
like, because it was something to sing about. And the reason why it was something to sing about, because at the end of the story, Celie comes back home to herself.
That
Miss
was my favorite part of the new one, was when they all were gathered around the tree and the table and they were singing. Then I was like, yes, yes, you could
Yes,
feel it in them. Yes, I could feel it through the screen. I could feel it. Yeah.
absolutely. So, yes.
Love it. Love it. Now, let me ask you something, Miss Anne Marie.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Tina Turner, but in your story, you write about the impossible tightrope Black women walk, fearing the labels of angry, weak. How did you overcome the fear of being judged or stereotyped as you wrote with such vulnerability? And I'm not just talking about this story, but when you write, period, it's like you lay your soul out on the
Mm-hmm.
paper.
Uh, it speaks to courage in different ways. There's the courage to live your life, to allow the mask to fall away, and to become who you are, and be vulnerable in that way. There takes courage to write. I didn't have a problem writing for myself, for my own eyes only. It is the next level up in terms of somebody else can read this.
Mm.
So first of all, you encouraged me because you and I had a conversation, and you're telling me, okay, this is your story, and I'm like, yeah, this is my story. This is my story that I authored. But I think about people, and not just women, but just people,
People, yeah.
just people in general. I want people, one, to know they're not alone.
Mhm.
Very often we lock ourselves in our minds and we
Yes.
think we're the only ones going through something, and we're not. Somebody else has gone through it. I want people to have what I didn't think I have. So, what I mean by that is maybe those resources and those opportunities were out there for me to heal faster than I did. However, I want people to read this, not just it's a letter or it's letters amongst all of us, that, okay, then what happened? Then what happened? You might even cry when you read these stories and feel the emotions and let them flow. But I want people to read it because it is a space open for you to heal. We can't heal you, so we can't empower you, because only you can do for you.
Yes.
What we're doing, what you're doing, Cami, in this space, is you're creating the opportunity for people to step forward to say, I want something in my life to change. And here are some examples of people who have done it. And now it's my time to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Someone asked me why I was doing this project, and I said, to be completely honest with you, it's my own journey. It's my own battles, the things that I had to face. And I keep reminding people that I am not yet 365 days into this. I'm 8 days away from making 1 year. And you have to remember that I came home and I faced my own childhood trauma. And that's where the first Dear Black Woman, all of those 50 letters that I love letters that I wrote to Black women were actually love letters that I wrote to myself. So I had to reclaim myself. I had to speak into myself. I had to it was all about what I did to overcome those things. And in turn, I said, okay, well, if I had to do this and I got such a response from other women reading the book, I was like, then it's other women out there that need to do this. It's a lot of us that need to talk to that little girl and tell that little girl, hey, this is where you were and this is where you are now. These are the things that you've overcome. And let me explain to you about your journey.
But here's the thing, Cammie, and pardon me for saying this. And maybe it's my own 2 kids that I birthed who has taught me this message too, in addition to the little girl. I'm unbuckling my seatbelt.
You about to take over the driver's seat now, Miss Anne.
I listen to my little girl. That doesn't mean that I hear a voice in my head. Mm-hmm. I'm not crazy. Yes. so that's the baseline.
Yes. No, we don't think you crazy. We know you're not crazy.
Yes. I think about the little girl inside of me. What did she want to do that she didn't get to do? Ooh. Where there's the serious aspect of things in terms of she needed a safe space for herself. Yes. And so as an adult, I can create a safe space for her. But on a practical level, the little girl was kind of grown up before her years. So I didn't get to play. I didn't get to go to my prom and the debutante. I didn't get to, you know, I had strict parents. So I didn't get to go outside and I never learned how to double dutch, you know?
Well, guess what, Miss Aaron? You get the opportunity to do that in September, okay?
Yeah, so let's talk about that because you have all these activities planned, and I'm saying to you, those are the things that I've brought into my life. I go out and I play now. So what are some things you have for us in September where we get to play?
So listen, we got an entire room set up that's going to be called the playground, okay? We have a mental health specialist who actually uses hula hoops during her therapy. So we have hula hoops, we have double dutch, we have all kinds of games, hopscotch, all of the things that we did when we were little or younger. And those activities are there, but they're there with a purpose now. They're mixed in with the healing aspect of them. And also just to add to that inner child, those things that we didn't get to do when we were younger or that we didn't appreciate when we were younger. Because a lot of us grew up fast. A lot of us were given the burden of you happen to be the youngest child, but many of us were the older children who had to assist with parenting the younger child. So that play aspect was out of the window for them as well. So the enjoyment, the joy of it all.
The joy, the playfulness. And, you know, I'm the youngest child, but one by one, my siblings moved. You know, they moved for good things, to go to college and to get married and so forth. But I'm alone in the house. Mama's working 24/7, basically. You know, she's a nurse. And I'm thinking the opportunity to get to play, the opportunity to get to laugh. Laughter is medicine for the soul. That's in the Bible, I believe.
It is. Look, and if it ain't, it should be. Okay.
Laughter is medicine for the soul.
Look, it's in some book. It's been said over the decades, years, centuries, BCs, all of it, okay? And laughter is good for the soul. If you notice, if someone is in a depressive state, even if you just crack a joke just to make them smile, it pulls them out of that state just for that moment so that they can feel that joy. Like, there was a trend, I want to say years ago on TikTok, where this black man started it. You remember that trend? He was running through the grass and they were calling it Black Boy Joy. He was just outside running and just running through the grass and having fun. And that's all he was doing. And in that moment, he reconnected with the
Yes.
little boy inside of him.
Absolutely. And that is, so I'm looking forward to the playground. I'm looking forward to
Mika
dress
said,
up.
let's play.
Yeah, let's play. I'm looking forward to dress up. There's
Yes.
going to have some dress up
There is an
opportunities.
opportunity for a photo booth where you get to dress up like a prince or a princess. Y'all remember when we played dress up? So
Yes.
it's browns and
Wrap a towel around it.
Yep, big poofy dresses. I got top hats for boys. Those the formal suit jackets with the tails and all that kind of stuff. Just cowboy hats and horses on a stick. Those little things that we got away from because we were becoming adults or young adults, and we were told those are not things that you should be playing with anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So restrictions were put on our lives at very early ages. Little boys, you can't play with that toy. You can't play with this. You can't do that. All of those things. We get to let go of all of those parameters, all of those restrictions, all of the things that we have suppressed inside of us, and just have fun.
Let me tell you a funny story. Just between me, you, and a few thousand of us. Don't tell the people at the church. Look, I used to believe, everybody who knows me knows that I love dance. I can talk to you about belly dancing, which is very sensual and respectable, and hand dancing and swing and all of that. But I took a class a couple of weeks ago because I'm trying to get back to an exercise routine that's fun. And I happened to drop in this Zumba class. And on that particular day, our instructor was teaching how to twerk. And I'm just like, oh my Lord.
Did you twerk, Miss Anne-Marie? Did you twerk?
Don't tell the church. Don't tell the church.
Listen, Miss Anne-Marie say, pop it.
Oh my God. I was like, because I used to be one of those people who would talk about people. I would say, look at that person over there, showing up booty. And Miss Anne-Marie was showing her booty. I was like, is that how you do it?
Miss Anne-Marie say, I'm finna learn how to twerk today, okay?
Yeah. So I didn't go too wild.
But you had fun,
but
right?
I had to laugh at myself.
Hold on, wait.
This is what I've been missing.
Mika say, throw it in a circle, Anne-Marie.
Throw it in a circle. And
but you had fun doing it, right? You release those inhibitions, any restrictions that you had put on yourself, and you just enjoyed yourself.
I just enjoyed myself. I did.
You just enjoyed yourself because we put the limitations on what our joy looks like. We put the limitations, and we allow other people to put limitations on us as well to what our joy looks like, and enjoying ourselves and really just digging deep and letting go of those inhibitions, letting go of what other people may think, letting go of what you think. Because a lot of times where we get stuck is in our own mind.
We stuck in our own mind, but I still have some inhibitions now. I twerk there, but I don't think I'm going to twerk at the next social dance, okay?
No, you don't have to twerk at the next social dance, but we're gonna have we're gonna have a private little dance session or more.
Yes, Soul Train line.
We're gonna have a little Soul Train line, and you can twerk. Look, like Mika said, you can throw it in a circle all the way down the Soul Train.
We should do that. We should have Soul Train.
Throw it in a circle all the way down. Do you
believe some people don't even know what Soul Train is? Lord help them, Lord Jesus help them.
Listen, but you know what? It's a good thing that we talking about it, because if they don't know, they can go look it up. They can go Google it.
We need to introduce this generation to Soul Train. We do. And not just, I know there was a TV series or what have you, but you need to know Soul
Yes,
Train.
I know you mean that Soul Train line that we
Yes.
And believe it or not, I think they actually know about it because there are clips of Soul Train on TikTok. So there are people who reshare all of those moments because, again, if you look back at the videos, the dances that were done on Soul Train.
So you need to bring the 70s for dress up. We need to do the 70s style, and we need to do the Soul Train line.
I'll go get. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna go get some afros, some bell bottoms, those colorful paisley dresses, and the big glasses.
Yes. There you go. And that's the Soul Train line. Come on, let's reclaim that.
Yes. Now, Miss Anne-Marie, there's a powerful moment where you wrote about being your own jailer. How did that physical act of writing, or how does the physical act of writing sort of help you unlock that door and find your freedom? And how do you think that writing can help others do the same?
We put ourselves in jail when we start to adopt the beliefs that other people say about us. So if somebody tells you that you're not worthy, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too small, you're too big, you're too this, all of the things, and you start to tell and speak to yourself that way. Some of my journals I end up throwing away because I'm like, if anybody was to ever find this, it seems so dark. And I did the work, Cammie. I did the work to be able to find out, why do I feel this way? And the venue that works for me very well is through writing. And so I wrote so I can see patterns, because writing allows you to come back and see a thing, and see it for what it is. It allows you to return after you've written it, after the intensity of the moment. You can then come back to it. And so I think of my experiences, let me see, when I talked about, raising my boys, being everywhere all at once, and all the football games and the practices, the soccer games, and so on and so forth. And I wrote about it. And when I went back to it, I was able to see that what I had done is I had made my boys my life, and to the exclusion of my own. So there was work and there were my boys. I could not have noticed that just through memory alone. Seeing that, it had such and such dates in terms of where I was, what, because at one point, one of my sons was on a traveling team and how far I had to go. And I go, yeah, I did that. I remember that. And I was thinking to myself, but nowhere in here did it say anything about me having a girls' night out. Nowhere in there did it say anything about me just going on a vacation by myself.
The crazy part is, as you talk about that, and I'm sitting here thinking, how many other mothers out there are there like that? And there are quite a few of us like that who have sacrificed ourselves for our children, or sacrifice just moments that we could take for ourselves. And our lives become our children. It becomes our jobs. It becomes just just the schedule of the day. And it's almost like we just fall into this trap of just worrying about other people and giving and caring for other people and doing the things of just the regular day, that we forget that we're a person too.
We forget we're a person too, and we forget our own needs. And I want to tell you that I see two extremes, because I see some people who are just like me, but I also see people who okay, where's your child and who's taking care of your child and who did you leave your child with? So I see both extremes. I'm not suggesting each, those extremes. What I am suggesting is that make sure you take care of yourself and
Yes.
make sure your children are safe, because
Yes.
there's a lot of things that happen to children. So make sure your children are safe, but take some time for you too. Find the opportunities and create those opportunities in your schedule. Schedule you in the scheduling.
Yeah. I agree with you on that 100% because self-care is needed. And one of the easiest metaphors for that is and I just got off of a plane. So,
Yeah.
so like they say on the airplane, when the mask drops down, put the mask on yourself first before you try to put it on your child, because you have to save yourself. If you think you're going to be, or you have to save yourself before you can save someone else, or before you can take care of someone else. You have to take care of yourself. So if you're a caregiver, if you're a mother, if you are an aunt, if you are just a caregiver by way of being a child of an ailing parent, or you're a caregiver by being a nurse or someone out there who's working in that industry, you definitely have to give care to yourself first.
Yeah, absolutely. And giving care to yourself first, we've come to know that as having spa days, right? Let's go to Manny
That is
Petty.
not the care, but that's a great start, but that is not the care that's needed.
Thank you, Cammie. That's where I was going. That's where I was going, because self-care means much more. We would love for you to come to our gala, come for the weekend to learn more about that, because self-care, the mani-pedi is the superficial things.
Yeah.
Okay.
The mani-pedi is the surface level thing. Okay. I want you all to come to this gala because I want you all to meet women like Miss Anne Marie. Miss Anne Marie has a business where she teaches you about becoming the person that you are supposed to be. So meeting her is not just about her poetry, it's also about her coaching services and what she can actually help you do in your life.
Absolutely. And it's called Becoming Enough, Becoming You.
Yeah.
I go, baby, baby with an E, baby.
Baby, okay.
Baby. So becoming enough, becoming you, it's all about that. It is about finding, come home to yourself. Come
Yes.
home to who
And
you are.
it circles back to the word we started with.
Reclaim.
Yeah, reclaiming yourself. Yeah. It starts
So
back with that.
Mika's got that word. So my word is love. So we're gonna have to blend those two. Maybe I should have said becoming.
But you know what? If you want me to change a word, I can change a word because becoming would be good for you. Okay. I'm gonna throw that up.
Say enough. I am enough.
Yeah. I like that, Miss Anne Marie.
I am enough.
Yeah. And that would go well on the little site because I put she is love. So she is enough.
I am enough, baby.
Yeah. We're going to change the word, okay? Yeah. We're going to change the word. Look at that Brandon just mixed all up in there together.
I see. That's what you do, magic. That's what you do.
Miss Anne Marie, before we conclude, what is one piece of advice you would give to a woman watching right now who wants to write her story but is terrified to even get started? And I'm going to say not just write her story, but maybe she just wants to write a piece of art, a piece of poetry, write them like I just shared with you all, my first novella. Maybe that's something she'd be interested in doing. What advice would you give to her?
I would give to that woman, just start. And when I say just start, a lot of times we move into overwhelm because we think it has to be perfect. We think And then we also have that fear, like I used to have, somebody's going to laugh at what I've written, or somebody, and then you look around you and you have that imposter syndrome, right? Like there's so many other people who can do better. No, shut that all out. You just sit down and you let the words flow out of your heart, and you listen to what your heart is saying. You can do it the old-fashioned way, and I found some healing in that too, the actual putting pen to paper. Or
people don't understand how cathartic that really is, because yes, we can sit and we can type all day long, but I'm going to say people in our generation, I'm a Generation X, so our generation and before us, pen to paper was a normal thing. So when you talk about reclaiming some things, sometimes you got to strip all of the new stuff away and go back to those old ways of doing things just for a moment, so that you can clear yourself and get out the things that you need to get out.
Using your word clear, when you put pen to paper, it slows down your thought process, because it takes you longer to write. And then as you are slowing down, more comes out. So to that person who's out there, I would just say, just begin to write. Don't worry about the form. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just put it down on paper. And then you can go back and look at it. And then you can start to massage it and to tweak it and make it be like a poem. Woo! And then you're going to say, I did that.
Miss Anne-Marie just, we need to let her teach a class, okay?
Yes.
Teach the class on
Triggers and Glimmer. That's my class already done. Triggers and Glimmers.
Yeah. And you know what? At one point, Miss Anne-Marie was doing those live sessions. Miss Anne-Marie needs to get back to doing those live sessions. Remember the group session? I was a part of it, okay?
Yes, you were.
Yes. I was there that day. That day we all created a poem together. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. So we need to do one of those again online, because that was fun, Miss Anne-Marie. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd be happy to. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. So
and
coming
look,
out of this gala,
with all these new found poets that we got. Okay.
Absolutely. Let me talk to you about your triggers.
Yeah, let's get these triggers out here and let's write poetry about it, okay?
And the ones below the mask, and it's a process. It's below the mask.
So, Miss Anne-Marie, tell them why they should be supporting you so you can win this crown.
Oh, my Lord Jesus. Woo! First of all, praise God. I would love your support, because I'm a believer the ancestors that walk with us, for all of the women who did not get a chance to speak, and I think of my own mom, for all of the women who did not get a chance to become or come into themselves. Those are the women that I feel in the marrow of my bones as I walk into that gala. Those are the women who walk alongside of me. And for all of the women who was part of my journey, I can remember a Mrs. Williams who lived on the block. Everybody had a mama on the block that the kids loved, right? And in New York City, we would have block parties and so on and so forth. There was always a mama who would look out for you. For those women who went unrecognized, ignored, they came and left the earth. Those are the ancestors and the people that I carry with me when I walk. And that is why I want the crown, to be able to do that. So yes, please support me. Support me and check out my podcast.
Yes, I was just going to say, Go follow Miss Anne Marie so you can get her specialty link. Okay, make sure you click the button to follow her. She is tagged in, will be tagged in this post, in this live. And those of you who are in our Facebook group right now who are watching, she's also in the members list. So all you got to do is type Miss Anne Marie's name in there, and she will come up, and you can go hit follow. She has a specialty link. Go to her funnel, her lead page, and buy tickets, buy a book box, and support Miss Anne Marie so that she can win the reigning Crown Visionary Award at the gala. So listen, this is going to be a fun event. So you're not just attending so you can heal your inner child. This is Miss Anne Marie say she didn't get to be a debutante, but that's okay.
Yes, I didn't get to go to my prom.
Yes, she's gonna get the dress up. She's gonna get the debutante experience, okay? And then it's a pageant all intertwined. So she's gonna be one of these ladies is gonna be crowned the reigning Crown Visionary. So for the year, and she gets to win a crown, a medal, a cash prize. Okay.
Woo.
Yeah.
That I put feedback into my business, becoming enough, becoming you. And to learn a little bit more about me as well, go to my podcast, About This Live podcast. And you
follow her on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, all of that. Because Miss Anne Marie is active on social media, okay?
Yes, I am.
Well, and I'm going to be honest with you. You never know what's going to pop up, okay?
I know. Maybe I have to twerk.
Okay. Like Miss Anne Marie take you on her walks with her. You know, she might decide she want to do another little triggers and poetry session, and that's a dance party, just to let you know. So
yes, I did have a dance party. Yeah.
So even when we come to this, when you come to that the weekend of celebrating our co-authors, that poetry slam and open mic session might turn into that Soul Train line she was just talking about. Okay.
That
part. And then, you know what? I got an opportunity for that Soul Train line.
What you got?
After the poetry session, later on that evening, Miss Angel and her husband are hosting the VIP mixer, and her husband is a DJ. And so we got an opportunity to put this Soul Train line together.
Yes, the Soul Train line is going to be there, and all you have to we're not gonna sleep, are we?
No, ma'am. We're not gonna sleep.
We're not gonna sleep.
We're not gonna sleep. We just gonna be running on air and fumes. Okay. You can you can sleep. You can sleep on the way home. Okay.
Let me play it now.
Yeah.
All you had to tell me was DJ and music.
Yeah. You can sleep on the way home. Miss Angel, and let me say this. Miss Angel and her husband are a good time. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they hosted the Dear Black Woman chapter event in North Carolina, and I did not want him to stop. Like it was so much fun, and they are such a good time. Like when he gets on that with the music going and she gets on the microphone, you think that that's the type of event that it is.
Woo, we got it going on. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we come together for the sound bath. Yes. Am I giving away all the secrets?
They can listen. If they go buy the tickets, they can read the schedule, and everything is on the website. So we not hiding nothing. We just letting you all know all the stuff that's going to take place and how much fun we're going to have. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to throw down, as they say. Yes. You know what I want the theme song to be? Can I kick it? Yes, okay, you can.
One of the things I'm about to start working on with you all is there is a Sounds of Our Youth playlist that I'm putting together for the ladies, and I'm literally have an Excel document that I'm about to drop in the group right now that say, please give me an up tempo and a ballad from your childhood that you most enjoyed, because these are the songs that we're going to be sharing and playing the entire weekend.
Oh, I already know. Yeah. You can't limit me to one. How can you limit us to one?
I knew you were gonna be the one. I knew you were gonna
did have verses.
Oh, you did?
One.
Miss Emery, I'll let you put some more on the list, though.
And okay, thank you. Because there's a one you listened to when you had your first kiss.
Okay, look at you. See, look at you going back now, memory lane.
Memory lane. Oh, you
Yeah.
remember? And that boy you had to crush up. Ooh. I remember his name to this day.
I remember my first kiss too. I remember.
Yes.
I remember where it happened. I remember his name. I remember how it happened. I remember everything. Yes.
We talk about heat wave. We talking about earth, wind, and fire. Yes. We talking about blue light basement party. Okay.
Look, I'm about to tell my age agreeing with you.
Yeah, but you remember I'm the baby, so you know when my sisters were having these parties.
Yes, but
I even know about Charlites. Now they were before my time, but I know about some Harold Melvin.
Miss Anne-Marie, that was way before my time, and I still know about Harold Melvin and the Blue
Harold Melvin. My sisters used to listen to Al Green. Shut the front door. Al Green.
Okay. And Otis Redding is one of my family members. So
yeah,
that was on repeat.
But Cammy,
okay?
Al.
Yeah, I said Al, I said Sam Cooke. Look.
Sam was polite. Yeah. Al was. Okay.
Hold on. Al had been burnt with them grits. So
I know. So Al was raw.
Yeah, he was something different.
Yes, Mr. Harold Melvin. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
let's make this playlist together.
Yes, we're gonna get this playlist and all the songs we talking about. We're gonna have it on a playlist for those of you who attend the event. You'll get access to this playlist where you can listen to the songs, and these are also the songs that we're going to be playing throughout the event. We have an area called the main stage where you'll be taking dance classes and stuff. So the theme of that, the dance classes, will go along with some of the songs that's on that playlist as well.
Oh my goodness. People get ready. I can't wait. People get ready. Thank you. Dear Black Woman Media Productions. Y'all doing the do. Do what you do, Cammy. Do what you do.
It was you all inspired all of this. Come on. Yeah. I work with a dynamic group of women, and it's different age ranges from the age of 22 all the way up to 70. I'm so grateful for the opportunity because it's such a vast age range that it allows us to reach women on different levels. So we're talking to the women in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s. We're talking to every woman out there, and not just women. Let me be very clear with you on that. The first book, like I said, my book, Dear Black Woman, was dedicated to Black women, but I've had women from other cultures. I've had men read the book and tell how it has resonated with them as well. So some of these stories, they come from the perspective of a female or a woman, but it's meant to help and heal anyone who's actually reading.
Yes.
Like you heard me say, men are invited to this weekend. Yes. You are invited to come. You are invited to reclaim your joy, reclaim that little boy inside of you. You're invited to do that as well.
And Cammy, I just want to give a shout out. Well, part of my journey is there's a gentleman by the name of David Burrus, Burrus, and people can Google him. I spent 9 months with him, and he has a group called Activate Nation, and he led us through understanding the heart of a man. And I'm thinking to myself, if I can spend that time, because whatever relationship that I'm going into next, and also I'm a boy mom, I want to be able to understand because they are wired differently than us.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And so if I, as a woman, can do that and take the time to say, this is my counterpart. This is who I want to know. I want to know how to love. It just speaks to men coming to a place, learn how to love your moms, your sisters, your significant others, your wives. And so why not engage with us in that way? And you might walk away understanding something about yourself.
And that's the beautiful part about it, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. Because as you know, I'm a boy mom too.
Yeah.
So for me, and not only am I a boy mom, my primary parent was a man, was my father. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm surrounded by men all around me, and I have a different, like, handling them and talking to them and speaking to them and allowing them to emote and get their feelings out has always been a part of who I am, because I don't just have a son, and I also have 2 nephews that I've been responsible for raising as well. So my baby he'll be 9 this year, and he's attached to me. And the one thing my sister says about me is he talks to you. You understand him. You allow him to just be himself with you. And that, I think that's a lot of what we miss as well. One of the things about my son is I've never tried to mold my son to be anything that I desired him to be. I wanted to allow him that space and give him that space. And even to this day, my son was like, Mama, don't talk to me about certain things. And I'm like, no, we need to have these conversations. Right. We need to be open with each other. You need to understand that you can talk to me and there's no judgment here. There's no place like that. For me, I want men to understand that there are women out there who are willing not just to coddle you, but to understand and allow you to be and feel your emotions so that you can understand yourself as well.
To give men a safe place to be. And so what I'm hearing you saying is that this gala, this weekend, we're not bashing men. We're not naysaying men. Yes, our focus is honoring and celebrating the Black woman, the Black men. Come on.
Come on. Listen, you're a part of who we are. You are a part. If it's you being a father, if it's you being a son, an uncle, a husband, a friend, you are a part of who we are. And as you heard me and Miss Anne-Marie say, we're both boy moms. So that is very important to us.
Absolutely.
We're not man bashing. You come have fun. You come frolicking. You get dressed up as a cowboy, a police officer, a firefighter, and you live out your childhood as well, because the opportunity is there for you too. And then the next night you get all dressed up in your tuxedo and enjoy the gala with us.
And glamour.
So we giving it both ways. We doing childhood and then we doing glitz and glamour. Like, come on now, this is gonna be a spectacular weekend. Yeah. So I am super excited, you guys. Listen, Miss Anne-Marie, do you want to share anything? Watch this. Do you want to share anything else with us before we go?
About this life _Anne-Marie. Find me on IG. Yes. I am also on YouTube. So about this
don't
life,
forget to tell y'all, go over to her group here on Facebook. For those of you that's watching on Facebook, tell them the name of your group on Facebook.
Becoming Enough, Becoming You. I am on Facebook. Come on.
Go join her group. Invitation.
Yes.
Go join her group. She does daily updates within the group. So she's always teaching something, and there's always something spectacular to learn. Absolutely. I promise you there is. And also, when you go over to her page, don't forget to click on her specialty link so you can purchase a ticket. You heard us, what all of the things that are going to be taking place here. And if you buy a ticket from Miss Anne-Marie, that pushes her that much closer towards that crown. And you heard her say she wanted to win that crown, so y'all get over
there and buy those ancestors proud.
So thank you so much, Miss Anne-Marie, for your courage, your vulnerability, and just for being a part of this anthology project. Thank you to everyone who has joined us. Miss Anne Marie's full powerful story will be in the Dear Black Woman anthology. Make sure you're following us for updates. The book is going to be released on September the 20th. When you go over to Miss Anne Marie's page and you click her specialty link, you'll actually find a bio about her. You'll find a link to purchase the book box from her. You'll also find the link to purchase tickets to the gala. You'll find the link to her podcast, and I believe it's a link to her Instagram on there as well. Yes. So you can follow her, jump on her Facebook page, and there are links to everything right there from her Facebook page. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you
so much. Thank you again, Miss Anne Marie. You enjoy the rest of your day, okay? And ladies and gentlemen who are out there watching, you enjoy your day as well. And we'll be back next week. It's either going to be with another one of our co-authors, or I'll be presenting one of our speakers or entertainers to you guys, who you will also get to see at the gala as well. Bye, everybody.
Dear Black woman, your soul's a flame, burning through shadows, calling your name.